It's Nikki.
And it's Brie.
And we're Late to the Party, a podcast about the film, fashion, and pop culture that shaped us into the weirdos that we are. And today we are talking about a movie that is chaotic, cringe, but also completely nostalgic.
Yes.
Catwoman, starring Halle Berry.
Yup.
Which your favorite movie ever of
My
all
favorite
time?
movie of all time. My favorite Halle Berry performance. All of it.
Yeah, we just watched
Yeah, it's
Catwoman.
fresh.
Very, very fresh. I don't know if I think I've seen this movie in passing before, but I know you have a lengthy history with the 2004
I do.
Catwoman.
A lengthy history. Yeah, I remember this movie, like seeing it in theaters. I saw it at a drive-in movie theater, actually,
Ooh.
on a summer vacation. And it had an impact on me. Seeing this on the big screen, you know?
What was it? Was it her like diamond tipped claw nails or leather and latex suit?
All of it. It was the cats bringing her to life. It was her trying to expose, this company.
Can I just say too, this movie is a little bit ahead of its time.
Yes, thank you.
I totally see like the parallels between like Sharon Stone's girl boss-esque villain role and like a TikToker.
Oh.
Everyone's so concerned with anti-aging.
Yes. See?
I see the effects.
I feel like that was lost on a lot of people, but I'm glad that you
Well,
can
yes,
see.
this movie is a scholarly film. It's examined, in film studies.
Yeah.
You talk about Martin Scorsese or Alfred Hitchcock. Also, Pitoff.
Of course.
It's directorial.
Dude.
I don't know if it's debut, but I don't know who this man is.
When we were watching and you're like, who the fuck is Pitoff? I'm like, wait, you're right. Who is he?
Well, because this film, so Catwoman opens up with like an ancient aliens-esque
I love it.
intro about, what are they called? They're called Egyptian Mao cats.
Yes.
So it's all the Egyptian Mao cats in, like the pyramids of Egypt, like an origin story.
I love a good
and then
origin
it says
story.
directed by Pitoff. It's not just like some random rom-com director. It's this dude is essentially like a lesser known McG.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, didn't he do like, okay, because I had to look him up after this, and I think he did some like, did he do any, what you call it?
This man has to have directed a music video or two.
I know it says that he was the second unit director for Alien Resurrection. So there was that. Like he did a couple things, and then this was his big like English language film debut.
Is he Swedish? He gives Swede.
It doesn't say. I guess he's trying to hide from us because it doesn't say anything about his personal life or anything. Like if you look at his Wikipedia, at least it's like he did Catwoman and a few other things, and that's it.
He was like a masterpiece. No notes.
Yeah, just
I get it.
mic
I'm
drop.
just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, he did. He left us a masterpiece.
Well, before we get into it, can we get into you? Psychology of Brie.
Oh my god, my origin story.
I feel like since we started this podcast, you've been like, we got to do Catwoman 2004.
I've been like really campaigning for it for a while.
If any movie shaped you into the weirdo that you are today, it's Halle Berry's Catwoman.
It has to be. Yeah.
So what about this movie made such an impact?
I think it was just the appeal of like going from maybe like a regular gal to having the cat-like reflexes. Having the cool, I love like how they show like how she can see things like a cat and just,
like she like hulks out.
yeah.
She like when she gets angry, she turns into Catwoman.
Yeah, and her eyes get that glare. Yeah.
Like glow.
Plus she can like jump and climb and
Play basketball.
she can play yeah.
Let's not forget the iconic basketball scene.
I love that scene. Like that scene grows on you, I think.
That scene's hilarious. This movie's hilarious.
It's a bit unhinged. Like this whole movie is unhinged, but
Like
yeah.
I get it. It lives up to its hype.
Yeah.
It's like so bad it's good.
Mm-hmm. I think it's all the cat lore as well, you know, as someone who like grew up reading all those like books about cats.
You gave me, okay, so I thought it was really sweet at the time. I still think it's sweet. A little more unhinged in retrospect. Brie, like in 2004, so young Brianna Piccone.
Yeah. No, don't dead name me.
It's like dead name me. I'm so sorry, Brie.
It's okay.
I was really going back in time.
I know, it's fine. You can.
No, it's okay. We won't do that. We won't let like, is that like doxing you?
I don't know. It's like when Catwoman's like, I don't know who Patience is. I'm Catwoman now.
She doesn't exist. I have no patience for this. I'm Catwoman.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, little Brie, you went through a phase where for all of my birthdays, you would like slip something in cat related. It was Catwoman propaganda. You were like, here's a cat sticker, here's a cat pencil. And then one year for my birthday, you were just like, no, I'm gonna give you books about cats. And I still have the what is a cat thinking book you gave me.
Just in case you need to know.
It was actually very helpful because I did have a cat growing up. And you were a cat.
I always had cats. I had a cat named Midnight.
You did.
Speaking of the cats in this movie, that's like the main cat.
Are you Pitoff?
Maybe. That's my other name. That's why there's no information.
It's like an 8-year-old in the director's chair. You're like, cat.
I'm in my debut. Yeah. Oh.
That's why there's no info. You're like, don't dead name me every time I say Pitoff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was obsessed with cats for a while. I don't know what to say about that. It just was facts. Yeah. I mean, the intro, I do love how it goes into like the history of cats. Like, I don't know. I've been obsessed with cats. I don't know.
What about cats speak to you?
I mean, to be honest, I think it was partly just being raised with cats around me, and then my aunt, her obsession with cats. Like, she definitely put that on me, and I took it. I was like, okay. Like, she did what I did to you. She would gift me all the cat books.
Okay, so that's how like it continues.
Yeah,
the cycle continues.
Yeah, but it helps if you have a cat. Like, if you don't have a cat, like if you're not living with a cat, it's kind of irrelevant.
That's a good point.
So,
but I did have a cat growing up, so it wasn't for naught. I really took in all your cat info.
Yeah,
and you know,
do you think this movie makes like, I don't know. Never mind.
No, wait, what?
Do we learn anything? I don't know.
I feel like Catwoman really misrepresents. Since I read that book you gave me, What Were Cats Thinking? I know a little more about cats.
Yeah, is Halle Berry a good cat? Like,
not particularly. I feel like you probably shouldn't give your cat chicken of the sea as a part of the diet.
Maybe not. Although I did give my cat that.
I mean, in desperate times.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think cats have basketball skills. So I think you're going to be really disappointed if you're like, hey, cat, let's shoot some hoops, and they don't.
Sometimes cats save lives, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it.
Just saying.
It's true. They do.
There's stories about people, or like, you know, they had like I don't know, like an old person took a fall and there was a cat there to call 911. Haven't you heard those stories?
What?
Yeah, or like at least bring him the phone. Yeah,
with their like teeth.
I think so.
Or they just grow hands.
Maybe they just like they grow hands.
I feel like this is how Catwoman would be. That the logic in Catwoman. With the CGI, the straight up 2004 CGI.
The CGI was a bit distracting. At the time when I saw it, I remember being blown away, like on the big screen. And maybe because it's like being projected at night in the outdoors, at least where I was, maybe there was like room for that kind of, you know, filling in the, like it just looked good on the big screen.
Truly. I mean, okay, so I feel like you can't be blamed for whatever you thought at like 9 years old about Catwoman. You know, little kid brains, everything's a lot cooler.
I mean, remember Spy Kids? That was amazing.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Like, I haven't seen Spy Kids 3D Game Over since the movie theaters, but I, at the time, thought that was genius. If I see it now, it's probably not going to look that great. But yeah, as a child, you think it's great. I don't know.
I think also Catwoman, to circle back to that question,
Yeah.
like, what is it about Catwoman for me? I think I looked up to her as like my hero, because I think I was late to the party on Michelle Pfeiffer, her Catwoman. So like I feel like Halle Berry is my Catwoman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She influenced me. Like that was the Catwoman that I knew. Like obviously the comic books, but she was like my intro to like the real life Catwoman.
That's a good point.
At least for me.
I mean, growing up, okay, I really didn't think about Catwoman all that much until Catwoman with Halle Berry. Just, yeah. But I mean, I was aware of Michelle Pfeiffer, and I saw that photo of her all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, the iconic Catwoman photo.
And her suit is iconic.
Yeah. But I didn't really like start to pay attention to Catwoman until Halle Berry. And then I got way more into it. So like this movie is in this really like this liminal space before. So this is still the era. So this movie came out in summer 2004. Yeah. So it's still this era of like Daredevil with Ben Affleck, Elektra, you know, Blade happened, Blade 2. So this is like the space where there's no Marvel, there's no DC. It's just like a new thing. And then a couple years, you know, like 2005. So a year after this, Batman Begins comes out. So Christopher Nolan's Batman
takes over. Yeah.
And makes it darker and grittier. And then in 2008, Iron Man and all the Marvel movies. So this is before that.
Yeah.
I think when I think of Catwoman 2 being a big like Christopher Nolan fan, I was like, oh, you know, Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer's one. And then I was like, oh, Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of, Halle Berry doesn't exist. Like she was,
skip over it.
As a kid, I would have said Halle Berry's my Catwoman. But as I grew up,
well, see,
I was like, well,
she's still my Catwoman. Halle Berry will always be my Catwoman.
I love it.
Yeah.
What about Catwoman? Because this movie definitely tries to like have that like femme fatale.
It does.
Vibe.
It tries. Yeah.
Oh, you know what Catwoman I also was influenced by? The animated series.
Yes.
That's my idea.
That's what I was thinking too. Like we cannot skip over her, the animated Catwoman.
That's the best Catwoman in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that's my first impression is the animated and then Halle Berry. And then like yeah. Kind of like you said, Michelle Pfeiffer.
I loved Zoe Kravitz though.
Yeah.
In the Robert Pattinson Batman.
True. But did Halle Berry walk so we could run with the cat? I mean, it's very different Catwoman.
So different. I feel like Zoe Kravitz Catwoman is a mix of like a Halle Berry and an Anne Hathaway.
Yeah. She's kind of
Michelle
cool
Pfeiffer.
and collected.
Yeah.
Like, but sexy. But Halle Berry's Catwoman's wild. Like,
she's unhinged.
I love it.
Okay, so let's get into Catwoman then.
Okay.
So the plot centers on Patient Phillips, a meek graphic designer who discovers a conspiracy within the cosmetic company she works for that involves a dangerous product that could cause widespread health problems. After being discovered and murdered by the conspirators, Patience is revived by an Egyptian Mao cat that grants her superhuman cat-like abilities, allowing her to become the crime-fighting superheroine Catwoman.
Yeah. I like it. I also like how did we watch this movie? What were we watching? Like
HBO Max?
Is it HBO Max?
Yeah.
Oh, I liked how they summed it up because all they said was a shy artist acquires feline speed, agility, and keen senses following a brush with death. You know what I mean? Just
that sounds so.
It's very simplified.
Cool.
It simplifies it. Like, I don't know.
Like perfectly.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm just trying to say like it skips over some things, I guess.
Yeah, there is it's a subplot, I suppose.
Yeah, there's a lot that happens.
I think so. Let's get into it. Hold on, sorry.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to like one up you with the. I guess it does say she's an artist. It's just never mind. It says the same thing, doesn't it?
Well, kind of, but they didn't include the Sharon Stone skincare plotline.
Yeah.
Which is arguably the takeaway from this movie. It's Halle Berry's performance and the like skincare of it all.
Dangerous.
Yes. The face cracking.
Yeah.
Which I thought, okay, like can you settle this for me as the Catwoman expert?
Okay, I'll try.
So I always thought that the plot of this movie was that the skincare company killed people. Like when you put the face cream on, it killed people. But like Alex Bornstein's in this film as Halle Berry's coworker / best friend.
Yeah.
She goes to the hospital because of the cream.
Right. She's
But
getting headaches.
Yes. But she just has headaches.
Right. But
So-
she's only been using it for a month.
Okay.
So maybe the longer, but it doesn't necessarily say it kills people. It just says like, well, I guess your skin deteriorates.
So where are the stakes?
Yeah, you're right. I remember the stakes being very high, but now I'm like, honestly, like cream that makes you like invincible. You know, like, did you see how many times Halle Berry kicked Sharon Stone in the face? Her face didn't crack.
Right?
I'm kind of like, I would buy that.
I know. It's a good testimonial for the skincare. I feel like nowadays in 2024, this movie would be like goals.
Perceived different. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, she would be like the heroine, Sharon Stone.
Yeah, and then Catwoman would be the bad guy for. Yeah.
She's just no fun.
No.
Too. Can we talk about Halle Berry as Patient Phillips / Catwoman?
Yeah.
Or Patience. I keep saying Patient.
Patient.
Patient Phillips.
It's because Benjamin Bratt's character thought she was a mental patient.
Yes.
Oh.
Which I know we're going all over the place.
Yeah.
With everything. But
you want to talk about patience?
Can we talk about Patience?
Or just like, oh no, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you can go ahead.
No, I don't have anything to say. Just excited to talk about Catwoman. Do you want to talk about like Catwoman, like her performance and
Halle Berry is Catwoman, yeah.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I don't know. I'm wondering, okay, how did she get in the mindset of being a cat? You know?
Do you think Halle Berry was method acting?
That's what I'm wondering. Would she just in her daily life, she was really eating cans of tuna?
How do you think Halle Berry would get into the mind of Catwoman? Like, what was her prep?
I mean, I would think you would probably want to read the comic books a bit.
Well, this movie also, just saying, this movie's not based on the comics. This is like fake lore that was just made up for this movie.
Oh, there's nothing that ties back.
I don't believe so, because the real origin of cat was she's not a real cat. She just has like cat-like agility and dresses up. She's not like a cat.
Yeah. Because wait, was Batman even like a bat? Or was
no,
he was
Batman's
just
not a bat.
Like he wasn't bit by a bat or anything. This isn't like
It's not
Spider-Man. Yeah.
Except this movie is set up like it's Spider-Man.
It is.
Which, you know.
She climbs like a spider.
She totally does. She does have a Spider-Man turn, except she's not bitten by a cat. She's just rescued by a cat when she... So this Sharon Stone and her husband in the cosmetic company threatened to kill her.
Yeah.
And they do kill her.
Right.
And she's resurrected, reborn by cats.
It made total sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the movie Thomasina?
I have not.
It's about a cat that has 9 lives. And it's a little bit like cat culty. And so I feel like that, like, you know, like when the cats circle her?
Yes.
And it's like mystical or something? I don't know. It made sense to me.
I do think cats are mystical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something about them. Yeah.
The cats are so cute. Not the CGI cats, but the real life cats.
Yeah, the CGI is a little creepy. Yeah. It's a little uncanny.
Excuse me. Yes.
I do wonder, like, if Halle Berry, like, some of the choices, that she makes, I don't, are those like her choices, or is that the director? Is that Pitoff? Is he like, oh yeah, rub the catnip ball on your face, or is she just doing that, you know?
Can we talk about Halle Berry's performance as Catwoman?
Yeah.
Because can I give a really hot take?
Yeah.
She deserved this Razzie Award. This is a terrible performance. And I kind of agree with the reviewer that said that Halle Berry should give her Oscar back.
Oh my God. Oh, I mean, yeah, it's not her best work. But, you know, maybe she didn't have a lot to work with, you know?
That's a good point. I do think her acting in this is atrocious. And I love Halle Berry, and I really enjoyed Monsters Ball.
Yes.
Like, I think that's one of those Oscar winning performances that is so well deserved. Like, undeniable. And Halle Berry's gorgeous. But her choices in this film are so weird and bad. And it can't all be Pitoff. We can't just blame you as the director of Catwoman, Brie.
Well, I'm pretty sure she blamed him too. From what I read real quick. Was
this a hit against Halle Berry? Because, like, it would just every single choice is so weird.
Yeah. I mean, I know that, like, people say, like, this movie didn't really help her career, which I guess maybe it didn't. But I don't know. I thought it did at the time. It's so weird to watch something and then you look back and, like, I kind of get what they're saying, though. Man, I was trying to find where, like, her statement.
Okay, but the dialogue is also terrible.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Maybe that's part of it. She said something about it being, like, directed by a man, and, you know, she's like, I wasn't the producer or the director. I think she maybe would have, maybe overall, though, would have told the story differently. So I don't know.
Definitely.
But just playing a character in general, I feel like you must have some choices.
You make choices.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like every choice just was a miss, which is fine. I just think, especially at the time, like in the early 2000s, we were terrible to women anyways. Like, this is the era of, you know, the same year as Janet Jackson, like Nipplegate.
Yes.
And, you know, we loved in 2004 to make fun of Britney for getting married and, you know, going to the gas station with, like, Cheeto fingers and no shoes.
I thought that was iconic.
Same. I mean, in this movie, and her bad performance is also arguably iconic.
Yeah.
Sharon Stone's outfits in this film are arguably iconic.
Okay. One thing I don't understand is how they nominated Sharon Stone for a Razzie for Worst Supporting Actress, because she killed it.
Sharon Stone is great in Catwoman.
Yeah.
Dare I say.
She is.
Best role since Basic Instinct.
Honestly. And that hair. I love how they, like, have her hair kind of like a choppy, like, pixie.
Oh my gosh. She slays. With the minimal eye makeup and, like, the bolder lip.
Mm-hmm. And her skin is all glowy.
Yes. She's, like, with her, like, flesh-colored eyebrows.
Yes.
It's very high fashion. Tyra Banks on, like, ATM or ANTM would approve.
She would. Yeah. She's definitely the after, like,
Yeah.
makeover. Like, the successful ones. Yeah.
What do you think about Catwoman's makeover? So Halle Berry starts off with, like, curly long hair and clothes that, like, look like she's about to tell your fortune.
Which I kind of love that. You know, I love that vibe.
Yeah, she's like your Aunt Pam.
Yeah, she is. She's just like Aunt Pam. Yeah.
Who's, like, really into tarot.
Yeah. I mean, I liked her transformation. I mean, but I liked how she looked before too, but I get it.
Yeah.
They gotta do the chop. It was all about the short hair, I guess. When you have short hair, you're in charge. If you have long hair, I mean, it's just a different vibe. You know, like you're saying, like giving off like tarot. Like there's that one lady who has long hair and she's like the Oracle of Cats.
Yes.
And then there's Alex Bornstein who has short hair and she's fabulous. Yeah. I think it's an attitude.
Okay.
I think when you cut your hair really short, you have like and attitude.
Is this like your alter ego? Tony
Yeah.
Piccone?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. She has a bob though, but yeah, she's somewhere in between. She's probably not quite as fierce as Catwoman or like well, whatever. What is Sharon Stone? I just want to call her Sharon Stone.
That I didn't even pick up on the name.
Yeah, it's Laurel.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's Laurel Hader.
Would never have guessed that.
Yeah, I know. I forgot about a lot of these names, if I'm being honest. Like Benjamin Bratt's character's Tom Lone.
Oh.
It's very basic.
I just
name.
thought it was Benjamin Bratt.
Yeah.
Where are my notes? What were we talking about?
I don't know. Hair.
Oh, her hair.
Yeah. And like her transformation. I really loved her cat suit.
Definitely. Me too.
I like how she has like 2 transformations. She has like the first one where she chops her hair and then she goes out in the leather suit and then she goes back a second time after visiting like the Oracle lady. And then, then
she gets the like proper leather and latex baddie suit.
Yeah, she's got the baddie suit with like the straps across like her torso, and yeah, her pants are like tattered.
She means business.
It's got the whip.
Yes, which I was reading the Wikipedia while we were watching this, and it was what was she? It was like she trained to use the whip.
Yeah. Apparently she did a lot of like stunts and like learned capoeira.
Yes, that was it.
Love it.
Which it's crazy. I wonder if things are on the cutting room floor or if that's just what they say. Because I know this movie was in production hell for a really long time.
Oh, really?
And Ashley Judd, like in 2001, around there, she was signed on to play after, so many iterations. And last minute, because Die Another Day, the James Bond film with Halle Berry as the Bond girl.
Yeah.
Jinx. So that movie gets scrapped. So then in late 2003, early 2004, they're shooting this film and it comes out in July. So a really tight turnaround.
Yeah. That would explain why so many scenes are CGI.
So many. They look like game characters.
Yes.
So you played this game on Game Boy?
I did. Well, I had it on GameCube, but I did also, and that was with Halle Berry. Like after the movie came out, they made like a Catwoman based off of her. But I also did have a Game Boy game, but it was like the old school like cartoon Catwoman. So I had both.
It seems iconic.
I couldn't get enough. They were fun because she would have the whip and you could swing from place to place. So
nice.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on I don't know if they still do this, but when we were growing up, they did it. The games for like Game Boy or GameCube or Xbox based on the movies.
I think it's fun. I mean, why not?
How was Catwoman?
I loved it because, like, now that I think about it, I'm like, was I solving crimes? Was I committing them? What was I doing? I guess I was like a vigilante, I think. I don't really remember the plot a whole lot of that game. It wasn't exactly the same. It wasn't, from what I remember, I don't think it had anything to do with face cream. I don't know. I just thought it was cool to be in the alleys and
to parkour.
To parkour. Yeah, it was a lot of parkour and swinging with the whip. And it had a cool soundtrack. And she would say things,
What would she say? like in the movie when she's like, meow.
Yeah, like stuff like that. Like when she'd walk by someone, she would be like, ooh, cat's got your tongue. Like little things, just silly things.
That's fun. What would be, if you turned into Catwoman, what would be your catchphrase?
Oh, cat's out of the bag. I don't know.
Cat's out of the bag.
Yeah. How about you? Or do you even want to be Catwoman?
I want to be Catwoman. Yeah. I've always had the fantasy of being Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like you were into Catwoman on GameCube. I was playing Spider-Man on PlayStation.
Oh.
And I also had parkour dreams, but like mine were Spider-Man dreams where I would, do the web. and just parkour from building to building.
Oh, that's cool. Honestly, the Spider-Man games look fun.
Oh my God. I was playing one pretty recently, and it was fun. It's like really,
that's a dream, just jumping from building to building. I think that's it for me too. Just especially in they're both like set in big cities, you know?
Yes. Where is Catwoman set? No, this isn't a pub quiz. I'm just curious.
No, I mean, she should be in Gotham, right? Or no, she travels, right? Like she comes in and out of the stories. So, but you said like, where is it located?
Yeah.
Because like in the movie, like where is it set?
Yes.
Do they say? Let me see. Plot.
This movie is really a fever dream.
Yeah. Okay. Because half of the set, like when we're first like when the movie starts, there's a big pan of the city and it like zooms in, and there's a lot of camera work that's like really, I don't know how they did this. Like, were there drones or what were they doing for some of these shots, like outdoor shots too, that were like swooping? You know what I'm saying?
It was very swoopy.
It was very swoopy. She works at a cosmetic. I don't see anything about.
So it's like an unnamed city.
I think it's an unnamed city.
Or we're supposed to infer that it's Gotham? ?
Maybe.
Even though the plot has nothing, like it's not set in the Batman universe. She's not even Selena Kyle. She's Patience Phillips.
That's true. That is interesting. It's interesting that they gave her the name Patience Phillips. I don't know who gave the characters names in this movie. I don't know how I feel about these names. You know?
I really appreciate how bad it is. Like from top to bottom. I am so sorry. I know this is your favorite movie of all time.
It's okay. We can razz it. I mean, this movie, I will say, had me laughing so much.
It was funny. Is this a Riz or a Raz?
I say it's a bit of both. At least for me. Like, I think it has a little Riz. It's got a little something, but definitely Raz. Like, it deserves the Raz.
It razzes so hard it turns into a Riz.
Yeah. Because underneath it all, I think there are little sprinkles of, like, it was going for something, I think.
Yeah.
You know? It's a little over the top. Like, I love the moments, like, the cheesy, like, transitions. Like, how there's one where she's, like, cracking the whip, and then it, like, whips the scene away into the next one. Like, there's so many cat, like, references, and, like, it's, like, over the top. Is it camp, maybe?
I think it's borderline camp.
Borderline.
My favorite scene is the basketball scene.
Yeah.
So Halle Berry as Patience meets a cop played by Benjamin Bratt.
Very miscongeniality.
Truly, does he only play cops? Also, is this set in the miscongeniality universe? Because I know they don't have the same name, but they have the same job.
He could be undercover.
Yeah.
That's why Tom Lone is such a bad name. It doesn't sound real because he's undercover.
I know this movie isn't set in Gotham or like the Batman universe, but what if it's set in miscongeniality universe?
I like this. Yeah, I like this.
Catwoman and Gracie Hart just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what they're doing. Like,
just
hanging?
Fighting crime.
Yeah. Which I feel like it's really interesting that Catwoman has like, well, she always has like some level of morals, I think. Mm-hmm. But in this movie, she doesn't kill anybody.
Mm-mm. She accidentally kills Sharon Stone.
Okay.
Spoiler alert.
Yes. But that was an accident. And when she steals, she returns everything. What Catwoman does that in the history of Catwoman?
That's true. Typically, Catwoman likes to steal jewels.
Yeah.
This time, Catwoman walks in. So she turns into Catwoman. And the first thing she does is she just takes a walk and stumbles upon a jewelry heist.
Yeah.
And she like saves the day in a way. She's like, hey, stop.
I guess. But she steals the jewels. She takes them home.
Yeah, but doesn't she put them back?
Then she puts them, the next day she puts them back. But she's like a goody two-shoes Catwoman. Like, it's so contradictory. There's like, I think it's wild, you know? But it's interesting.
It is very interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, why can't she steal jewels?
Yeah. In my mind, I thought she, like, because even her, like, you know, there's Patience and then there's Catwoman, right? But, like, Catwoman is still pretty, like, I don't know. She looks bad, but she's still like you know what I mean? Like she's
Catwoman. Okay, I wrote a whole comprehensive list of things that happen when you become Catwoman. Okay, so you turn into Catwoman, right?
Obviously.
Like Spider-Man style.
Yeah.
Okay, you eat tuna cans in bed.
Yep.
You have mad b-ball skills. Being Catwoman also means telling people off that party too loud, your neighbors.
Oh my God. I think that might have been my favorite scene, Nick. That was so wild, like unhinged.
So describe the scene.
Okay, well, we've seen like there was like a scene leading up to that where she's just like kind of meek and she's like, "Oh, can you turn it down?" But they're across the street. There's like this window across the street from her apartment, and I guess they're so loud. They're keeping her up at night, and they're just like people partying. Then she goes over there and she's like, "I told you to," you know, she's just getting pissed, and the guy's like, "Get a life," and they're all like laughing at her. So she walks over there, busts down the door. And turns out it's a bar.
I know, it looks straight up like an apartment. I was under the impression it was like noisy neighbors.
Yeah.
But she's coming over to complain about an establishment.
Right? I'm like, wait, I don't know if you can do it. But she's like, good. Now I've got my peace and quiet. And she's just like, well, but it was kind of awesome at the same time. But
Do you feel that way sometimes?
Yes. I felt that way today at my job. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It's funny because she's like an introverted. Maybe that's it too. She's like, I don't know.
You relate to her introvertedness?
I do. Yeah, I do.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh, Catwoman can be a baddie, kind of.
So can you.
So can I. I can steal from a jewelry store and then return the jewels. Nothing bad will happen, right?
Totally. So next thing about being a cat is you have to cut your hair into like a 90s Meg Ryan shag meets Karen cut.
Yes, it is. Yeah, there were a couple moments. I feel like her hair is different. I'm like, did they give her a wig or did they dye her hair? Because it looked different in a couple scenes.
I will say this movie does like this very like post-feminist job of talking about like female empowerment. It has like a weird convoluted message.
Yeah.
But one of the things that it gets right is Halle Berry is infinitely hotter with the short hair.
I feel like we all, when we think of Halle Berry, we think of short hair.
I think so too. And I think this movie was really like, that was my main takeaway from this film. It's like, oh, you want to glow up? Halle Berry's got to cut her hair.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, that's what you have to do. You have to chop that hair.
Right.
Get a Karen cut. You have to wear a leather suit that your friends gift you in case of emergencies.
I love that. Which I'm like, that's so wild. Like,
what's an in case of emergency where you'd wear a latex suit?
I can't think of one. Maybe like
going to the dentist.
Yeah, I don't know
filing your taxes.
I don't know how that would help me.
Going on a hot date.
Maybe. Or like, is the latex, will it protect you from something like electricity? You know, I'm like thinking practical. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
It's like raining. You're like, gotta put on the suit.
Yeah, I hate the rain. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know what kind of emergency. Well, because like the one that they gifted her was a little different than the one that she ends up, in the long run. But yeah, I don't know. Do you like, what kind of emergency would you wear a leather suit? Or just like every day? Like, no.
Every day is an emergency. I'd say to steal some jewelry. I think that's, or to rob a bank.
Yeah, I'm like, if it's all black, like there has to be some practicality.
Yeah, I would say if I were going to commit a crime, that would be the time. That's the emergency.
Okay.
It's my emergency
Do we need to
criminal suit.
Do we need to get emergency criminal suits? Or
totally.
gifts? Do we have to give them as gifts?
We can give them out. Oh yeah, also speaking of stealing, she steals a motorcycle and recreates the Toxic music video.
She does. Oh, I thought that looked familiar. Yes.
She like speeds through the city like she's Britney Spears and Toxic.
I love it. And the lights are all just blurry. I do love how it's shot.
It is cool. I do like even the color. Like color grading's really cool.
Yeah. It has a vibe. It has a feel.
Definitely. It makes me really miss like the early 2000s aesthetic for films too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like cool toned and
yeah. I don't know.
it's like glossy, but film, you can see the film grain still.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Oh.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Oh, also, being a cat means, so she goes to a bar. Like, that's like the first thing she does when she's like fully Catwoman with her Catwoman glow up.
Mm-hmm.
She goes to a bar and orders milk straight up.
Yeah.
And like the way the bartender gives it to her is so funny because it's like the most bad. Like they play it like it's like the most badass scene ever. She's like, "Oh, can I have, what is it, a white Russian or whatever she says?"
Yeah.
With no liquor and no whatever. And he's like, "So straight up." And it's milk because she's a cat.
I love it. Duh. I know. I love her just doing cat things.
Yes. Oh, and also she like ferociously eats sushi.
That was a little bit scary. The
was.
quickness, like just.
Catwoman is unhinged.
Yeah.
She's just all about being a cat.
Mm-hmm.
She gets like a taste of catnip, goes feral. I don't know. I just thought it was funny. Her cat things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just cat things. Just Catwoman things.
Just Catwoman things.
Oh. Yeah. You nailed it. That's what you got to do.
Anything else? What are your thoughts on this film, Brie? What are your highlight moments? I definitely want to talk about the basketball scene at some point, but what other highlights?
Well, other than telling people to quiet down, turn down the noise. I always thought that the scene, like where she's like, it's like the beginning scene where she overhears that conversation like with the scientists or whatever, and they're like, "Look at this face, like we're creating monsters or whatever." Like that always freaked me out.
The monsters. And
now I realize it's CGI. I'm like, oh. But yeah, I don't, like as far as like scenes, I'm thinking, I mean, it's kind of cute when she goes on the date with Tom or Benjamin Bratt,
The sushi date?
The sushi date, yeah. That was really cute. It was like a different movie for a second. It was like almost a rom-com or something.
A little bit. I like her relationship with Tom Sloan. I just call him Benjamin Bratt.
Yeah.
I think it's funny because their meet cute is that he thinks she's about to jump out of the window of her apartment building.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like her with like her feet on
like an air conditioner unit that's like wobbly. Yeah.
He saves her life.
He's like, "Don't do it, don't jump."
Which he does like reach out of he pulls a Catman. He like reaches out, his whole body's out of the window.
There are like 2 times where he's like a Catman. That time and then when they're at the amusement park.
Definitely. I think this movie definitely doesn't do any favors to feminism because my main takeaway was like Benjamin Bratt's the real hero of this film.
He didn't have to, like, he didn't have a cat bring him back to life.
No. He really did put in the work. And what did he get? Nothing.
And he didn't even get the girl.
He didn't.
I thought that was kind of wild. I mean, I get it. Like not to just skip to the end, but she just kind of left him in the dust.
Truly. She was like, "I'm a cat now."
Yeah. She's like, "I'm really independent. I can't."
Oh my gosh. Speaking of the love interest subplot, the basketball scene is the most unhinged, wild scene I've seen.
What's your favorite part of the basketball scene?
Oh, I love it when she just shows off her basketball skills, her cat basketball skills. And she does this thing where Halle Berry's like doing like tricks with the basketball, and she does the one where like it rolls off of her arms.
Oh,
but it's like implied that it's because she's a cat, and cats, I guess, are inherently great at basketball.
Totally.
And she like, I like it when she puts the basketball moves on them.
Have you seen a cat with like yarn, like with a ball, like how they go like,
yes,
You know, they kind of do that, like, they almost dribble, like, back and forth.
Oh my god.
Maybe there's something to this.
You really did direct this movie.
I don't know. I'm thinking about it, like, maybe.
Okay. I do. That's wild. That's still.
I don't know about, like, the shooting hoops part, though. And doing, like, the, you know, like a 3-point. But
I do love in the scene as well where it's, like, filmed, like, a music video. It's very much like Aaron Carter, That's How I Beat Shaq.
mm-hmm.
They're, you know, or they're like, it's mixed with like a Step Up where they're like in a romance, like about to kiss.
Yeah, they are. She like kind of tackles him a bunch of times, but there's children watching.
And then they do like a dance move where they're like moving side to side.
And they did some butt shots of her.
Oh,
which
yeah.
was kind of awkward.
Oh yeah, she like turns around and like bumps his butt with her butt.
Yeah.
There was talking about butts or
Mhm.
Halle Berry's butt. The male gaze is alive and well in this film because so many scenes are just like Halle Berry booty.
Yeah.
Wild.
It is wild.
Great, but
Yeah.
wild.
I know. She's got a great butt, but yeah. I mean, I don't know if all those scenes were necessary. Like the basketball scene, I don't think was.
No, I think
there's a
that was
scene-
necessary.
You do?
I think the
Just
basketball
backs it up.
scene is hilarious. And that's what a booty is for. It's for backing it up.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, you're right.
There's a whole song called Back That Ass Up, Brie.
Okay.
Like, you love that song.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
That's
I
what you
stand
do.
corrected.
I think the speaking of uncalled for booty scenes, when she's in jail and they show her booty sliding through the bars,
Yeah.
that's where I was like, that's a bit much.
Yeah.
That wasn't necessary.
No, it wasn't. Yeah. That's
But
a good point.
I'm all for a booty tooch.
Especially on the
Playing
basketball
hoops,
court.
Yeah.
Where it belongs.
Yes.
Oh,
Catwoman belongs on the court.
she does.
But no, that's like the craziest scene for me.
Okay, if we're just talking about like scenes that we enjoyed, I liked a lot of like the fighting scenes because they're Matrix-y like style fighting almost. But especially like the final like boss
The boss
the
fight.
boss fight at the end was wild. Yeah.
I do love a Sharon Stone Halle Berry face off.
Yeah.
Literally face off.
Yeah. It was just intense. I don't know. Like they had like metal poles and we're doing like backflips and running up walls and
Oh, I love any time Catwoman runs up a wall. The CGI is so bad. It brings me so much joy.
oh yeah. It's so wild. Like one second it's literally Halle Berry and then the next second it's her CGI. Like double.
Oh my god, I love when they have the tussle down the stairs, her and Sharon Stone.
Yeah, which I still think is real.
I don't know. It's just sometimes you can tell
Yeah.
in this film where it's like Halle Berry's in a fight, especially the boss fight, where you're like, oh, that's a video game like rendering of a person.
Yeah.
But I love that.
Like
I
why did
live
we
for
do that? Why did they I mean they still do, I think, but it looks better now.
Yeah.
Like way better.
This movie really shows the cracks in the paint.
Mm-hmm. Literally.
Yes. Pun intended. Well, this movie did come out in the summer of 2004.
Mm-hmm.
Same year, same summer, same box office as Spider-Man 2. Arguably the best superhero film ever. And it still holds up.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to think that this is like the same summer. That's where I was this summer.
were
When
seeing
you were
Spider-Man.
watching Catwoman in the drive-in, I was watching Spider-Man 2
I got you.
and Shrek 2
And Shrek, obviously.
and Princess Diaries 2.
Me too. All the twos.
Yes.
No, this was a good year for film.
Oh my god, this summer was great. So the box office for the summer was Shrek 2, Spider-Man 2, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
One of the
best one.
Yeah. Or the best, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, don't get a twist. It's the best. The Day After Tomorrow, The Bourne Supremacy, which I think is also a 2. I think that's the second one.
There's I don't know what the first one
Bourne
is.
Identity, Supremacy.
Oh, is that it?
The third one, I don't remember what it's called. I never saw that one. I, Robot, Troy, Van Helsing, Fahrenheit 9/11. One of those things is not like the other. The Village, Dodgeball, Collateral, Princess Diaries 2, Anchorman, Alien vs. Predator, The Notebook, The Terminal, Garfield.
My favorite.
The best cat movie of 2004, Garfield.
Oh, yeah. No, Garfield left an impact on me.
Mm-hmm.
All
Me too.
The Black Eyed Peas on the soundtrack.
Oh my God. The other day, we were watching Pulp Fiction with our friends.
Uh-huh.
And literally Garfield's impact. They were playing, like the real version of that song that the Black Eyed Peas sample and pump it.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, the Black Eyed Peas, like in Garfield.
Your mind went straight to Garfield,
Straight to Garfield.
I love it. My mind always goes straight to Garfield, especially when that song plays. Yeah. It was impactful. It was like one of the openings. I don't know.
A little parallel too between Garfield and Catwoman, the second best cat film of 2004. Halle Berry didn't really love this film. Bill Murray hated being in Garfield.
That's true. I don't understand why some people hate their best work.
I know, truly. And then White Chicks came out this year in the summer, and The Manchurian Candidate.
Wow. Yeah, a lot of good films. I mean,
like, what a lineup.
I know. I don't think about 2004 a lot, but
I loved 2004. I was living my best life, arguably.
I'm like, wait, was that me?
My phone said go to bed.
Yeah, same. You were living your best life.
I was living my best life in 2004.
What were you doing other than sneaking into the movies sometimes?
Yeah, no, I was like watching all the movies I could. I was being like 9 or 10, just like living my best life, being young, being a child, no worries,
impressed by every movie.
Totally. I don't know. 2004 was a banger of a year for me personally, but I was also a child, so I'm like,
true.
That's the funny thing about nostalgia. Like, aren't every year, unless something catastrophically bad happened.
I know. I'm like, I think it was a good year, and I'm trying to think, did something happen? I don't remember.
Nothing happened. Which I guess why it was a great year.
Yeah. I know. I'm trying to think. Oh, I know. I wanted to say. So if we're just talking about the box office and stuff, apparently this film is so bad that on Rotten Tomatoes it just has an 8% rating. That's it, 8%. And I'm like, really? I've seen worse movies.
Name names. Name a film.
The Room. It's up there with The Room.
It is on par with The Room.
Yeah, it might be on par just a little bit. What
is it about a bad film that's really good though? Like, there is something about a film that is so bad, like this movie,
like
that
Showgirls.
I enjoy.
I think that it just maybe that the fact that they put it out,
I sometimes I think it's the choices. Like, the really bad choice, I think, does something to, like, it tickles my brain. It's funny, like, okay, speaking of The Room, or like this movie. Yeah. With Halle Berry's performance, she's a fabulous actress. Most beautiful woman in the world. But some of her acting in this is very Tommy Wiseau adjacent. Like, in the choices that she makes to do a line delivery.
She's like, I did not hit her. I did not.
A little bit. But what was my point? Oh, I think it's, Tommy Wiseau, like, every acting choice he makes is the wrong one. Like, every line read is, like, the wrong choice.
Yeah.
It is a little bit like Halle Berry in this.
It is. I want to say, though, I feel like when Halle Berry is Catwoman, like, fully Catwoman, she's so sexy and takes it away. Like, it's maybe more awkward when she's playing Patience.
And maybe that's on purpose, but it just doesn't read
Yeah.
right. I think it's like so awkward, and then mixed with the style of movie, it's like
I know what you mean.
it's just every single choice is wrong, which tickles my brain in a funny way.
Yeah.
What I like. I wonder if Halle Berry did this on purpose.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy because she's so great in Monsters Ball.
I know. And there is one scene in this movie where she actually like cries.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, she's giving real emotion. Like all of a sudden I'm in like a serious film. Like when she gets like sent to jail.
Yes. And then she slides through the cracks, or CGI slides through the cracks with her booty.
Which I love that the cat visits her in jail.
Yes.
By the way. Like that was funny to me.
The cat's my favorite. I love this little cat that is like her savior.
Yeah. Who played the cat?
I know. They did use cats from an animal shelter, like the real life cats.
Aww. That's sweet. I hope they donated. Yeah, the cat's not listed in the cast.
No, that cat's a star. I mean, it's probably dead
Dang.
now. Not to be a bummer.
No, did you see? Like all that cat's been around through all the centuries, like through history.
Yeah.
It's that same cat, Nick. He's still around. Or she. I don't know if Midnight's just a cat.
Yeah, it's asexual.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a they them.
Probably.
I do love Halle Berry. She goes to the Razzie Awards in 2004 to accept the Razzie for best or worst actress.
Yeah.
For Catwoman.
Best worst.
Best worst. And she comes on stage with her Oscar in one hand and the Razzie in the other.
Love that.
I do think that's a badass move.
Yeah. I know. I mean, she's still an Oscar winning. Like, so I don't know. Do you think this like really affected her career? Like her trajectory?
I think so. I remember even at the time as a kid hearing about how bad Catwoman was and how, it ruined her career. I mean, it could have just been like a narrative at the time, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
People weren't super kind to females in the media in the early 2000s.
Right.
But
I don't know. I loved it. Did you ever see Gothica?
I did not. That movie, those previews scared me as a youth.
Really? Yeah.
Did you see Gothica?
Mm-hmm.
How was it?
I enjoyed it. I don't remember, to be honest, I don't remember a lot of it right now. But, and I'm looking, and it looks like it came out in 2003. But I enjoyed it.
What did Halle Berry do after this? Because I don't really remember anything she's done post.
I know.
Catwoman.
Yeah, I'm like, let me look at her filmography. Something in 2005 called Their Eyes Were Watching God. Never heard of that. The movie Robots. She was one of the robots in the animated robot movie. She was in X-Men The Last Stand in 2006, which I feel like I remembered that one. Something called Perfect Stranger, which looks like another kind of thriller, horror. Something called Things We Lost in the Fire in 2007. 2010, Frankie and Alice. Don't know what that is. I mean, a couple movies here. She was in New Year's Eve.
So it is safe to say that this movie actually ruined her career.
Damn. Yeah, I'm like, wow. She was in another X-Men, I guess. I guess she was in... I guess it's Storm. Maybe that was her, like, superhero niche that kind of stuck. But as far as, like, big movies other than that... Says she was in the third John Wick.
Oh, yes, she was. I remember her in the third John Wick. She's great in it.
I can't remember.
She's the one that John Wick meets before he goes and walks the desert. She's the one with the dogs.
You know, I don't think I ever saw the third John Wick.
Oh, my God. John Wick 3 is the best.
Is it really?
Okay. I don't even care for the first two John Wick films, but in the theaters, it rivals A Star Is Born for me.
No, really?
I've seen it 3 times in the movie theater and once at home, just like on Max.
Wow. I didn't know you had these feelings about John Wick 3.
John Wick 3 is amazing. I do love Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
I don't know. I just love John Wick 3. I'm
Wow,
horny
you
for
heard it here
John Wick
first.
3. Yeah. I loved Keanu shooting baddies on a horse.
Oh, wait. Maybe I did see this. Oh, wait. The desert. They're in a desert?
Yeah.
Okay, now that I'm seeing some clips, I think I did see this. It was, yeah. Okay, sorry. I've seen all the they blur.
Yeah, I haven't seen the fourth one. Did you see the fourth?
Is there a fourth one? I don't know. I don't know how many there are. I can't keep up.
They do blend. I stand by John Wick 3 being the best, though.
Yeah.
But back to Halle Berry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know she's great in
That's
Monsters
a damn
Ball.
shame. But everyone, I mean, I wonder what kind of movie she would make if she had not made Catwoman.
Yeah. We probably should have done more research before we started recording, but
I know.
But I do wonder if her career would be different without Catwoman. But I understand saying yes to Catwoman.
Yeah. I'm sure she sprung back, though, in general.
Well, she didn't. But
she's still Halle Berry. They
She
can't
is.
take that away from her. She still has that. Wait, does she have the short haircut? Sometimes she does, and sometimes she doesn't. Well, Halle Berry's always going to be Catwoman in my heart. And I don't know what to say.
she's so over the top in this movie. And I love Sharon Stone's performance as the villain.
When she looks out the window longingly.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I love the subplot about skincare ruining your face and making it crack and being the real villain.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. It's a bad movie. But it's fun.
But it's so good. I mean, it definitely was fun to revisit. Like, it wasn't 100% how I remember. Like, it was way cheesier, but it's fun. Like, I would watch it just to laugh.
It's a
and have a good time.
dream.
It's not like that. I feel like at the time I remember thinking this is like groundbreaking. This is saying something, and it might have been a little ahead of its time with like maybe just like talking about the beauty industry in general, but. Yeah, it's very silly. It's the lore. It's like so silly.
I respect it.
Yeah.
I respect the lore.
Because this is the first time you really, sat down and seriously watched.
Yeah, I haven't seriously watched Catwoman ever, but I'm glad I did. Yeah. Especially for the Sharon Stone bit and for the basketball scene. The basketball scene is unhinged and epic and amazing. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, can I also say, well, okay. So first, Sharon Stone as the villain.
Mm-hmm.
I love how the big reveal at the end is Sharon Stone on a Nokia phone doing like the Emma Roberts surprise bitch. I bet you thought you saw the last of me.
Uh-huh.
I love that. And I also love that the real villain of this film is being a 40-year-old woman.
Right. Yeah. She's like, when I turned 40, people, what did she say? She like
threw
me away.
Yeah, they threw her away.
I think she was like the muse though of the company or something. Right? Like maybe I thought I saw her face in some of the ads, maybe.
Yeah. I think that's what they're trying to say.
Yeah, she was, I don't know.
And
it's
you
giving,
know, yeah.
Oh, no. What were you
no, you know when you turn 40.
Life is over?
Life is over.
Yeah, definitely. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, she gave me the energy, you know, like in Josie and the Pussycats, like Parker Posey's character.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like that villain that's like, I don't know.
Super vain and, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that early 2000s, like
Vanity's your downfall.
Yeah. What was up? Like, what was in the water at that time?
Misogyny.
Yeah.
Two. Every song in this movie sounds like a background karaoke song. Like, you know, the vocals when you are like pop in like a karaoke CD.
Yes.
It sounds like that mixed with like Hannah Montana, like transitions where she's like, oh, whoa, whoa.
No, it does. Like, 100%. Like, what is this? Hold on, let me look this up real quick because it's not in the wiki.
Also, every single song sounds like everybody's got that something. You know that song?
Yeah.
Every song in this movie, it's not that, but every song sounds like that song.
It does. It all sounds kind of the same, and like, yeah, like the woo woo whoa, those transitions, like
She'll scarf down cans of tuna and then walk out of her apartment to a whoa whoa whoa.
It is like a TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they should have made it a TV show.
On the WB. It would go on the WB for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially with that aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I want to see if any of these songs are real. Oh my god, there's a song called Wait. Hold up. 51 songs. Wait. I guess it looks like entirely like the soundtrack was made for the film. It says album by Klaus Badelt. And he put together this music, I think. Because there's one called Cat Lore, Impatience with Patience, Strange Behaviors, Corporate, let's see, Accepting Catwoman, Escaping, like Feline Assault. Like there's so many there's one called Me Again, Animal Attraction. Like there's a whole, like, Bad Girls Showdown.
I did read that they spent a lot of their budget on getting Halle Berry.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they just didn't have any licensing budget left. And they were like, well, we got Klaus.
Basically, yeah. He was putting in 51 of these, like, interludes.
Nice. We'll go Klaus.
Gotta shout him out.
King.
Oh. But that kind of explains why it sounds like background karaoke. Because I'm like, all these songs sound familiar, but I don't know any of them.
Klaus was thinking on the fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, also, there's this letter at the end that Catwoman does this monologue.
Yes.
Where she's like, I might be crazy and a cat, but I'm free. It's very like Taylor Swift Reputation coded.
Yes. This whole movie I thought of Taylor Swift. I'm like, I bet she would know all these cat breeds that they're talking about.
I feel like you're right. I feel like Taylor Swift was taking notes.
Yeah. Did this influence her?
Yeah.
It had to, right? Does she have an Egyptian mouth? Or does she just know about? I know she's like named them.
She really has. And yeah, I can see a lot of Reputation in Catwoman.
When she becomes the Catwoman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she was influenced.
I think you're right too. And the red lip.
Halle Berry, the influencer, the influenced. But good for her. This movie, just like Taylor Swift, can be a little cringe.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean it's not great.
Yeah. I love a little cringe here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it had, there's some messages buried in there, whatever that is. Like embracing your, I don't know exactly, but something within you.
Yeah, there is this part where it's like about accepting who you are. And when you accept who you are, then you're free.
Yeah.
But then right away, it's like, accept who you are means dressing sexier and appealing to the male gaze and telling people to shut up.
Yeah. Well, I like that part. That's
Me
fun.
too.
Just telling people yeah. But Catwoman's always been sexy.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It's like embracing your power, but maybe that doesn't always have to be your sexiness.
Well, there's no like growth. I think it would have made sense if it was like she stood for something more
than just being sexy.
Yeah. Because like she just started off as like a meek artist.
Yeah.
She didn't ever reclaim her art.
She was like, oh my gosh, she could be painting as Cat. Yeah. Does she still paint?
Like you can be sexy and you can be feminine and like a femme fatale. And that's what I think's really great about Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman, or even Anne Hathaway or Zoe Kravitz. What the great thing about Catwoman is she is sexy and smart and clever. And, she's a little more complex because she's sometimes good, sometimes bad.
They try to make that point in this movie because she keeps saying it. She's like, sometimes I'm good, sometimes I'm bad. But she's like, I don't know.
And what is good and what's bad. You know, I feel like Catwoman really does represent someone that's really like autonomous and a badass.
Yeah.
But Halle Berry's Catwoman is not really like that.
But maybe she's not there yet because she just turned into Catwoman. I mean, who knows? There could have been a Catwoman too, but there wasn't. We'll never know. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ooh, can I read you some reviews on Google before we wrap this baby up?
Yeah.
Okay. Jake Grayson, 4 years ago, gives this movie a 10 out of 10.
Yes. My man.
He says, it's pretty genius when you think about how ballsy it was for Warner Brothers to create a whole new character in no way related to the DC comics. Shame some people just can't accept it as its own thing. Only Catwoman in name. There's something appealing about Halle Berry in a leather dominatrix outfit jumping on rooftops in the dark urban landscape of Salt Lake City. For me, it's an action revenge thriller set in the world of beauty products and dark alleys, with a hint of good R&B score. There's a bit of social commentary in here about the way people are treated in the beauty industry at a certain age. Or it could be about a woman accepting her flaws and becoming free with herself. I'm not ashamed to admit I love Catwoman. For its runtime of nearly 2 hours...
Oh, was it really? It went by fast.
I can safely argue I wanted more. The film, directed by French visual effects supervisor newcomer Pitoff, or Brie Piccone, feels like a comic book come to life with its vivid colors and wild editing. Countless times we get insane CG crane shots of the beautiful Salt Lake City. In the dark alleys Catwoman prowls. While unnecessary, it makes for campy fun, considering it was the early 2000s and they didn't know how it was going to fare with audiences. Plenty of people judge its $100 million budget. And
wait, 100 million?
Yeah, and Halle was paid $12 million.
I was gonna say, I hope she got paid well.
Anyways, he kind of digresses, but that
it keeps going on.
Yeah.
When does it stop? When you write a whole paper?
He just talks about the budget and how they made Catwoman figurines.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So
they did, didn't they?
Yes. Okay. Dante Robinson gives it 1 star.
Whoa.
I'll be honest, I haven't even watched the movie, but just reading through people's reviews,
what?
I can already tell watching this isn't worth my time.
No.
My first gripe, just reading the description though, is she magically got powers and is basically turned into a giant cat. Versus actual Catwoman, where she was really agile and skilled with her whip. But nope, instead she gets it from a cat. It makes no literal sense. And then on top of that, they soiled a good actress's name by making her the star.
Nikki, is your secret
It's
review?
me. The fact that Warner Brothers approved this and spent so much money on it, I mean $100 million? People are out here homeless. No money, no food, or a roof over their head. And we're spending money on a movie that's trash. Next time you make a Catwoman film, do your research. I also want to let Dante Robinson know, because he wrote this 4 months ago on Google Reviews, that this movie came out in 2004. So that money is spent over like 20 years ago. So he can relax.
Yeah.
Also, the Black Eyed Peas put out Where's the Love? And I think that cured homelessness and poverty.
Yeah, it's cured now.
So
definitely.
So he can rest assured.
We can rest assured.
Yeah. I just like that first review a lot.
That was two very different takes there. I see. Okay. And I do hear what Dante's saying a bit.
Mm-hmm.
However, don't review something if you haven't like watched it. If you haven't experienced it, I don't think you can review, because we all have preconceived notions, you know?
I would say okay. This does not teach Dante a lesson, but he is right on the money.
Yeah.
And it probably would have been a waste of his time, and he probably would have had the same thoughts.
Probably, yeah.
But you still shouldn't do that. That's bad practice.
Yeah. We're like, you're right, but you're also wrong for being right.
Yes.
Wow, thank you for sharing that.
I thought you might enjoy.
Yeah, the first review definitely resonates with me. And as a filmmaker, I feel like I've done my work. You know.
You've nailed it, Brie. I nailed it.
Off. Yeah, that's me. That's what the P is.
Brie Pintoff.
Exactly. Oh.
Um,
Cat's out of the bag.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's Catwoman.
I know, where do we go from here? That's Catwoman, baby.
You can't even play us out with a song from Catwoman.
Can't. Just, whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Everybody's got that something. But it's not even that song.
Oh.
But any other final thoughts on Catwoman?
I will just say this was a blast, and watching it with you was a lot of fun. Yeah, it's I still like it. I don't know if I'd give it like 10 stars. I'd probably give it like 8 or like 8 tuna cans, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's definitely not perfect. It has its flaws, but I give it a little extra just because nostalgia, I think, and it was going for something, and I still enjoy it. Like, if I can enjoy it, I'll give it a high rating.
This movie's so nostalgic in a way. Like, it is campy. It's very campy.
Yeah.
And it's so bad. It's good.
Yeah, are we gonna look back and appreciate this in years to come, or is this gonna be forgotten? Is this a cult classic? Does it even make that cut? I'm just in the minority here.
Maybe. However, okay. Sometimes Brie, you are right on the money.
Yeah.
And I don't feel that way about Catwoman, but I do feel that way. Like, you love bad movies sometimes.
Yeah.
And you showed us like our friend group Norbit.
Yes.
A couple weeks ago.
One of the best.
Truly one of the best. So I will give you some credit.
Thank you.
You got taste, girl.
Which I don't think Norbit's a bad movie.
It's actually not.
I think it's really good. Yeah. It's cheesy, but it's not bad.
We'll circle back to that if you want, because
I could go on about Norbit. Don't start.
No, I laughed from start to finish. That movie's good.
But it's meant to make you laugh. Catwoman, I don't think is meant to make you laugh.
Catwoman's an excellent comedy.
It is. I think that's my takeaway. It's more like a comedy.
I don't think it'll be like a cult classic, but I can see it getting some of the room.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. Razz it. What would you rate it?
Oh, I would rate the basketball scene 10 out of 10. So,
yeah. That's all that matters. Just that one scene.
It's gold. It's comedic gold.
Yeah.
So that's Catwoman. Thank you so much for listening.
We'll see you next week.
Bye. Late to the Party is hosted by Nikki Jensen and Brie Piccone. Our podcast is produced by Grace Dunbar and edited by Brie.
That's me. Thanks for listening. Make sure to rate and review us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We'll see you next week. Bye.